Welcome to Sexpertease. I'm your host and favorite sexpert, the Erica Rivera. And today is an especially meaningful episode as we celebrate our 1 year anniversary. Joining me is a passionate pioneer in the child-free lifestyle. She's the author of 2 books, has been featured in documentaries, and at 82 years old, proudly shares that she has never once regretted choosing to be child-free by choice. Please welcome Marcia Davis. I am so honored to have her here today.
Yay!
Hey.
Wow, what an introduction. I feel like 5'10".
You are 5'10".
No, I'm 4'11", and shrinking as we speak, but go ahead.
Oh no. Thank you so much for being here. I really have to ask right off the bat, what first inspired you to publicly advocate for the child-free lifestyle, especially at a time that it was far less accepted than today?
Great question. Well, it was the 60-minute interview that I had in 1974. The result of that interview was so horrific to me and so illuminating and so passionate about the need to speak up that I became the warrior, the so-called pioneer in this lifestyle. It was so riveting, so uncomfortable, so frightening that it gave me the power, I think, to step up to the plate and say, why am I considered a selfish bitch? Why did I lose my job as a teacher? Why did Mike Wallace end the show with, "Pardon our perversion for airing this on Mother's Day. Good night, everybody." So I was deemed perverse.
Yeah, so for those of us that perhaps have not seen the interview, could you give us like a quick couple lines about it? Because I knew about Mike Wallace saying, basically about this perversion on Mother's Day, which I think is absolutely awful. But for any of us that may not have ever seen this interview, maybe a quick couple sentences about how you felt. Yeah.
The interview took place right after the first convention for the National Organization for Non-Parents. They were filming it, and they found out that I had not spoken to my in-laws or parents about not wanting to have children. Simply asked me if they could come along with me during the time that I do that. And I said, well, I'll ask my husband. And she said, can you do that now? And that night, right afterwards, we were on our way to my then husband's parents to talk about my choice and his choice. Remember, his choice to have
Right.
not to. I know. Well, that's forgotten. He did not lose his job. He did not have picketing. Godless bitch, go home. He did not have death threats. I did. So it was a lesson in pronatalism. It was a lesson in editing. What happens when you speak and you don't trust? You trust and only find out that things are said that are taken out, and you're made to look a certain way. And it made me furious. So in a
Wow.
way, it was wonderful because it gave me the passion to reach you, and you're going to reach others, and we're going to make people feel just as proud as any parent not having children.
Absolutely. But it is kind of disheartening to find out because I was born in the 80s. So I did not have the pleasure to see something like that live. But when you mentioned that things were taken out of context, I feel like that still happens today,
Yes.
in so it's so important to have the full story, and it's so unfair that that had to happen. But like you said, at the same time, something great came out of it. So in your view, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that society has about people who choose not to have children?
Here comes the big one. You're selfish. We hate children. You're rich. You're money hungry. All you want is money, 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 money.
Oh,
Selfish,
gee.
irresponsible, hedonistic, unloving, unkind. Never should have married. Why did you marry? I mean, it's endless.
Yes. Yeah, the rich part, I wish. Like,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. I mean, I'm waiting for. He plays lotto every week. We're not wealthy. Trust me.
I feel like I've gotten similar misconceptions. Part of the reason why it was also important to have you on the show is because it is our 1 year anniversary of having Sexpertease. So I'm celebrating by having you on, and it's amazing. But with having this show, I've also gotten a lot of backlash, and that's why when reading about your story, I'm like, this is so relatable. And I recently got a tubal and received some of the same feedback. Oh, you're probably irresponsible, and I must have all this wealth that I can just spend. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, and it's I have a niece, I have a nephew. I am capable of love and loving children. It doesn't mean I need to have my own.
And it doesn't mean we have to love children. I mean, there are people that do not love children, and
Absolutely.
that's their right as long as they don't harm or hurt children. Most of us, I would think the majority, don't hate children. We don't like the lifestyle of raising humans.
Exactly. So, I mean, how did this it's affected me, and I'm so curious because, in your lifetime, how did your decision to be child free affect your relationships? So, with family, with friends, obviously with the workplace, we kind of know what happened there, but how did it affect you?
It affected me very, very much. Many of the friends, actually, one friend actually said, I'm just jealous. I mean, here it is on a weekend, and you probably made love this morning and had a little breakfast, and you were took your time, and I've been up since 6 in the morning, and I have screaming kids in my ear. I think I'm just jealous about you. So there was a jealousy. There
Yeah.
was anger. Why haven't you done what we've done and gone through all that we are going through right now? They didn't like to hear our stories about travel and our stories about taking ballroom dancing lessons and going to theater. And it bothered so many friends. The real friends stayed friends because they respected the choice that I made. And to this day, my closest friends are parents.
Wow. I love that. So, do you feel though that your circle got a little bit smaller though, especially if there was jealousy and things like that?
And not only that, there were times that we could just go, we made dinner dates and it would cancel because somebody threw up or the babysitter didn't arrive. And we would just go out and have dinner and go, well, that's the way it is. That's our lifestyle. That's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it did get to be smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think there was a lot of anger at us that we didn't join them. But like I said, the real friends stayed friends. And it's a test for you and them. Do you respect their needs too? They do have times when the babysitter doesn't come. They do have times when the children have a stomach virus and throw up. So it's a two-way street in real friendship.
Yeah, it is actually making sure that you are still considering, and I feel like a lot of people don't think about that, is considering the other person's needs as well. If you make plans and they have to cancel at the last minute, not getting frustrated, knowing that, I mean, they are taking care of another human, and that is, we may not be able to relate, but that is a huge responsibility.
The other thing is, many times when I was with a girlfriend who had children, they would talk about their children. It's their life. And I was like, oh God, I hear one more story about little. Stop.
I'm the same way, so I'm glad you're saying it.
What I would say to them, I think you would like to talk about something else. Can we talk about sex? Or can we talk about our men in our lives? Or you think we can talk about what your dreams are, what your goals are, what you wish? And it would give them an opportunity to get away from what they are just engulfed in, which is parenting. And that's part of their job, to be that effective, compassionate, concerned mom or dad. So if we take them away from that, it's an opportunity to be free of that.
Yeah, give them a break.
That took me a long time to learn. Oh my God, I can't hear another story. Please stop it.
I can be similar. So it's kind of reassuring to hear someone else say it. I'm like, okay, I'm normal. I'm normal to feel that way. But yes, as I've gotten older, I've learned to be more considerate and, like you said, kind of take the attention away from it. So it gives them a break. It gives them a breather. If we do talk about future goals and things that we're working on rather than focused on parenting.
Or human issue, or God forbid, political issues, or
Right.
world issues, or anything other than what their life is engulfed in. It's. I mean, many women also have dual lives. They have a lifestyle of work and then come home and have, the lifestyle of parenting. But very often, if I got into I call it the cha-cha-cha of dysfunction, where it is, but you may regret this when you get older. And I'm looking forward to, and I would in the beginning go, well, that's ridiculous. I mean, there's no guarantee anything's going to happen. Maybe your kids won't be there for you. And I realized after a while that wasn't working because
Mm.
it would be that well, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. No, going nowhere. So what I
Yeah.
like to do is take their hand and say, wow, you really seem to be happy as a mom. I'm so happy for you. That's how I feel about not.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's actually a perfect way of handling it because you're right. It becomes this like child-free versus with children rather than,
Right.
okay, why can't both be correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. That took me a while to learn. If anybody now who's watching can learn that, that's such a blessing, especially anybody who has a parent who's giving you oh my God. Remember, parents, the greatest icing on the cake of parenting should be grandparenting. And their peers who are giving you their pictures, is it the pictures now? No, it's on the cell phone of little
Yeah.
Johnny, little Abigail, and the first day of school. Blah, blah, blah. If they don't have that, they haven't reached nirvana. So you have to understand that their pressure is their peers saying, I have 10 grandchildren. How many do you have? Well, I have a grand dog. Doesn't work.
It does. I see. I have three cats, so you can only imagine some of the backlash I get. I'm the crazy cat lady. And speaking of backlash, you've actually written and spoken about the backlash that you faced. So, how did you stay grounded and empowered in the face of criticism? You have your books, Confessions of a Child-Free Woman, and What You Don't Want Children. And so, you've written about these things, and I'm curious to know how you stayed empowered during that time.
Whenever I got a negative or an attack, I just got one today on Instagram. Will you die already? I think they said, will you die already? Wait,
Oh
I
my
will
God.
give it to you. You're going to love this one. And I'll find it. No, I don't. I get so many, but it's typical. It gives me more reason to carry on when I get these negative things because I go, oh my God, after 50 years of being on this path, I'm still needed. There's such
Mhm.
ignorance out there. And it just gives me more ammunition to try to fight this ignorance. Now, you cannot fix stupid. You can't. You just have to leave it alone, block them, and go, sorry, grow up.
Move on. Yeah.
So, but it isn't always easy, and there are times that it's scary. I mean, in the beginning, I did get death threats. My dog got a death threat. I came home, I had to shut the blinds because I was afraid somebody was watching me. When I went to speak, I was picketed. Godless bitch, go home.
Wow.
What are you, crazy? I'm the most loving, caring human on this planet. My neighbor still yells at me, child hater.
Your neighbor, your own neighbor.
I hope she's watching.
She might.
I hope so.
Just to hate on you more, but then it'll give you more fuel.
Yeah,
And
look, I'm human. There are times I go, oh my goodness gracious. How could people be so rude? How could they be so ignorant? How could they have been so misled by
mm,
religion
mm,
and society and the push, the myth? without the reality of what parenting is. It's an
Yeah.
awesome, tough job. I wish
Yeah.
there were courses where there were tests. Are you parent material? Do you know what I had to go through to be a teacher? How many exams? And then after I taught continuing education or I never got my raises, a post person has to take a test. A taxi driver has. No parent on this planet has to be asked, are you parent material? Or is this the right choice for you?
And
How
I feel so on my show, we're very, very open here about everything. And I feel very strongly about the whole parenting thing as far as testing is concerned, because I have friends who want to be parents and can't be parents. And the amount of hoops they have to jump to adopt or be foster parents is insane. I'm like, why don't we do this with biological parents? You know, we
right?
don't have a test for them, and
Very good. That's true. I love
yeah,
it. You're
it's
right.
it's
You're
so
absolutely right. I mean,
that's insane.
it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. What we have to go through to rescue a dog or a cat,
True, true.
you know? I have one right here that I'm taking care of for one of my friends for 2 weeks. Yeah, no. Oh, wait. There goes the frog in the throat. Excuse me. It's
Oh,
not,
no worries.
not vodka, it's water.
All right, we'll take a little hydrate time.
Okay.
But yes, so that's always, I'm glad you brought that up. Parenting is not an easy thing, and sometimes I also wish that there was some sort of test, because I see some of these parents that, unlike us, they really want to be parents, and
Yes.
it hurts me to see what they have to go through to adopt or become foster parents. And then I see some of the biological parents that choose to be parents, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
really?
Yeah. I know. And many of them, they're pushed again by religion or society. And the biggest thing is the fear of being alone.
Yeah.
Well, I will be 83 October 16th. I have waited years to be able to say this. Here it comes, drum roll. Not one fucking regret. Can I? Not.
I I want to be like you when I grow up.
Really, I've waited this a lifetime, and now that the sands of time are, I have sciatica. I mean, of course, there were moments in my life that I went through the and they were usually those, I call them the Kodak moments.
Okay.
Watching a friend breastfeeding their baby and the presence in the room and the balloon. Oh, he's so cute. By the way, I don't say baby anymore. I say human. Because
Human.
because the baby is the shortest amount of time that you have in the lifestyle of a human. There's so much more. And look on all the different Instagrams. You always see babies, 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 pregnancies, babies. You don't see the teenagers. You don't see the little kids, in preschool or even in fifth grade or sixth grade. It's babies, babies.
That's true.
More than that, it's the whole lifestyle, a lifetime. My mother, to the day she died, worried about me. I was a lucky one, you know,
Wow.
to have that kind of love. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, I forgot.
No, no. We were talking about how you stay grounded. It's okay if we sidetrack a little bit because it still has to do with the topic.
Right,
And
those moments that I sometimes went, oh, but then I would think about what happened before that moment?
mm,
What happened after that moment? And parents are missing the moment that I saw sunrise on the Serengeti, or I saw a blackbird sitting on top of a glacier in Switzerland. They miss that, So we all miss something.
right.
But we have to ask ourselves, what is the lifestyle that we love, that we enjoy, that we embrace, that we wake up in the morning and go, I'm happy. And if it's parenting, kudos. We're not against parents that really are good parents and happy parents. I love to see that.
Right.
I,
Right. And that's
we're usually told we hate parents. No, we don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like some of the people around me either think I hate parents or I hate children, and I'm like, no, that's not the case. It's happiness is number one. I think not just with parenting, it could be with your job, it could be with really anything within your lifestyle. When I see someone at a miserable job, I'm like, I've always believed if you pursue happiness, the finance will follow rather than the other way around and staying in a miserable situation. And I feel like that can be applied to quite a few things.
Except
Um,
parenting. You cannot get out of parenting.
can't get out of it.
Well,
Right.
unfortunately, how many? I think it was 500,000 children in foster care. Why? Why? Many of those people had children for such wrong reasons. Such
Right.
reasons. And sad to say, once that child is born, well, what happens then? You can't give it back. And what they do is they give it up, or it's taken, God forbid, because of drug abuse or who knows what, or just financial issues or health issues. So many children are in foster care. So many. We took care when I was a teacher. I had two children that would come to us on the weekend from
Okay.
abuse situation, and it's so pathetically sad what they have to go through. Us, the child haters.
Right. Right. And that's the thing too, is like if we don't want more children being abused, abandoned, or in foster care,
Right.
then those of us that don't want to have kids shouldn't just have kids for the sake of, well, society or my parents or my
My husband
religion,
wants his name carried on.
my husband. Right, right.
I love that.
So
Well, what about your legacy?
uh,
Like, who gives a hell of my legacy? Who will know who I am? Maybe a little bit for a few years with the books and the documentaries and the people, and because now you are my legacy and the
oh,
people you will reach. But for the most part, in a few decades, nobody will know anybody unless they're, God forbid, a president or, or Chris maybe, and even them, after a while,
so
forget.
would you say then actually the lifestyle we've chosen, I think, makes us selfless, not selfish.
Absolutely. We have more to give if we want to give. We don't have to give. And that's the other thing. Women are also we're supposed to nurture. We're supposed to love. What about loving ourselves? What about taking care of that little girl inside or that little boy inside of us? What about the joy of just knowing what we want?
Right.
That's self-care. It's not selfish. There's a difference in my opinion. And it's not
Yeah.
wrong or right. It's just okay for you.
So, speaking of that, what advice would you give to people, especially women, but people who are still struggling with the guilt, the pressure, or the judgment about choosing not to have kids?
I got the answer. But those on the fence, are you talking about the ones on the fence, the ones who are not sure?
Yeah, basically the ones that they're considering it, that's probably what they want to do, but they may be battling with guilt, pressure, or judgment. That might be what's stopping them. What advice do you have for those people?
Right. I want you to spend time with children, and I don't want you to babysit for 2 hours with your niece or nephew. I want you to ask a friend if you can take over their house for at least a week and live the lifestyle because it gets away from the children. They're precious. They were us. We were once children. Okay.
Right?
But it shows you the reality and not the myth. And you can say to yourself, do I want to do this? Is it wrong of me to say, no, I don't? Of course it's not wrong. Children deserve people who are dedicated to their job, their lifestyle, their calling. And there are many wonderful parents. And my hat goes off to those people that are wonderful. So live the lifestyle, not just a couple of minutes in a babysitting situation. And live it alone. Live it alone. Because even if you have a partner, God forbid they die or you divorce, you're stuck in that relationship with that lifestyle and that child. And then if the man says, well, but I want. Oh, really? You want? Okay, what if I die? Can you take care of a child for the rest of your life on your own?
Right.
Oh, the Lord.
Right. We don't even really think about that. Is if I make this decision, what if my partner passes away? How many people actually think about
No.
their or divorce or whatever the case may be? And I think about back in the day where, like, I know with my family, I have a big family. My grandmother took care of 8 kids as a single mom.
Ah,
8.
ah,
That's wild.
oh my
That's
God.
I can't even like fathom that.
I can't.
So so thinking about, that is a great consideration. So if you are watching and you're someone who is thinking about having the child-free lifestyle, this is great advice. Live it, and see how you feel after you have been able to experience that. I never got to live it per se in that sense, but I was a preschool teacher, and that did not last very long. And that was when I knew. If there was like an aha moment, it was then.
It's real. There's too much. The word is pronatalism. I remember the first time I heard it from Ellen, I went, "Whoa, that's a big word." I couldn't wait to say it. Pronatalism, pronatalism. It was like, "Whoa," because people would look at me and go, "What?" So here's your homework assignment if you want to know what pronatalism is. Okay, read a book, especially a love story. The ending is always, and they had a baby. It all ended beautifully, unless you read a beautiful woman wrote Wild Egg. This is
Wow.
a novel that does not, well, I'm not going to say, but read,
Don't say.
okay, but read it. Read The Baby Matrix, which talks about what it really is about life that makes you feel you should be a parent. And then tonight, or whenever you watch this, put the TV on. Watch some advertisements. How
Mm.
many of them depict the product with the family? Very few don't have children in it, except what I love, the dog sitting in is it the Volvo?
Yes. But you're right. There's not a whole lot of representation of child-free
No,
people.
it's children, and it's always a little boy and a little girl looking so cute, so adorable. You don't see ugly kids in any ad. All adorable. It's true. Watch it
It's
tonight.
true. It's true. It's
Go to the movies and see how many movies are about, the love and the joy. Or watch the new one I'm watching is Sullivan Crossing. Oh my God, on Netflix. There's babies everywhere and talk about it, except one. There is one couple where she says, "I don't want to be married. I don't want." Oh, I'm surprised you didn't hear me screaming for joy.
Wow. That's no, I would have felt the same way because there are people out there that also may not want to get married. That's a whole nother
A whole other
conversation.
story.
That's a whole different conversation. In fact, maybe we can do another, like, a follow-up episode,
Yep.
talk about that, because that is also like society feels that women should be married, and so there's a lot of backlash when you're 30s, 40s, and it's, oh, you haven't gotten married yet. Yeah. But that jealousy comes in too. It comes in again with the, yes, but I have the freedom to do XYZ. My husband doesn't have to, I don't have to consider someone else's feelings. So,
What's happening
but
now? Look what's happening right now with Kelsey and what's her name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. You know that the biggest thing they're waiting for is for them to say, "We're having a baby." It's like they're so
Everyone's waiting.
excited about the wedding. Derek Huff and his darling wife now announced that she's having a child, and it's like heaven on earth. And we wish them well. It's not that we don't. It's just that you don't hear too much of the people that don't have children.
Right.
It's not such a big deal. A lot of the young people now are not having a baby shower. I love that. I'm not
So I'm trying to plan like this is so funny because I know my friend is watching the show. So I have a good friend who decided she was going to plan something similar to a baby shower for me because I just had a tubal to celebrate not having kids. And I'm like, what a great idea. And like, so being an entrepreneur, why don't we have like business baby showers and things like that where
Like,
here's a gift for your business or your career, whatever, you know?
you know what oh, this is going to be bad, but I have to say it.
No, say it.
Okay, here it comes. By the way, when you get to be 82, you just say what you want to say. It's great. If I was invited to a baby shower, you know what my gift is?
What's your gift?
Condoms.
Amazing.
Get her either a beautiful nightie or something precious, and maybe a little book for the baby. But do you know how expensive condoms are? Seriously.
Yes. Actually, yes, I do. It's not fun. I think contraceptive there needs to be more accessibility to contraceptives for sure.
And it always makes me laugh, but there's a subtleness there underneath it that I guess is obvious, but
no, I think it's great. And you were talking about earlier in the interview, you were talking about your death threats and things like that, and it made me think of something totally different, but just sexual health in general, how it's basically been attacked over these last couple years. And I had to do a speaking engagement in Tallahassee, and it was in front of the governor's mansion on the Roe versus Wade situation. But I was there. Yeah, I was there to educate. I wasn't there to pick a political side. I was there to speak on it and how it was going to affect women's health. And you would have thought that I did murder someone with the types of protesters that were there. But it was the first time in my
world.
Yeah, it was the first time in my career, though, because I've been doing this now probably about 12 years. And that was the first time that I was like, do I need to get a bodyguard or because you never know, especially in
my
our
husband has been more worried lately because lately there have been some really bad things against me, really bad. And I just found out from a huge meetup group in Portugal that they're not allowed to have child-free in any negative way written in they're trying to stop the child-free. They're mommy groups, they're baby groups, but the child-free groups are now being,
so they're being banned, essentially.
Essentially banned.
And this is Portugal.
Portugal.
Wow. Yeah. I would have never thought, like, in Europe that would happen, actually.
In my second book, I researched all over the world.
Oh, I have to look into that.
The ground that even in America, where it's not so great right now, you will kiss the ground when you read about being child-free in Greece, in Italy, in some countries where you could die. Yeah. I was blown away by it. Took me 3 years to write that book.
Wow. Okay, so then this is a perfect final question. So looking ahead, how do you see the child-free movement evolving? I mean, now that I'm finding this out about Portugal, and what do you think still needs to change in how society views this choice?
You know what needs to change? More parents telling their truth. More men and women stepping up to the plate, and it's happening. I've seen it on Instagram. I've seen it where more and more you see, I just gave birth and it was the worst experience of my life. Or I had brought this baby home and I went, oh my God. Or recently somebody said, well, what don't you like about parenting? And the beautiful woman said, you lose your autonomy. It's the baby, it's the child all the time. More and more parents need to step up to the plate to tell their truths. And we're not saying that that'll be the end of civilization. There will always be people having children.
Always.
It's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I know people think we're going to be the cause of like us going extinct.
You know what the world population is right now? Don't worry. And also us being real, not being angry, just being honest about the joy of our lifestyle, the unlimited possibilities of it. I think that's what's still needed 50 years later after I've started this journey.
Yeah, I think I agree 100%. If both sides were to just be honest, that would bring a lot of awareness and that would move
support each other.
Yes, exactly. It would move, not only move the movement forward, but like you said, it's realistic. It's realistic rather than having that them versus us mindset.
There never should be that. Never. Oh my
So
God.
I'm gonna go ahead and put up your social media because I'm sure a lot of us would like to stay in touch and see what you're up to next.
Answer
Um, So you mentioned, so here we are, Childfree Guru on Instagram. Or actually, I think if I point this way, I'm pointing at you. It's so funny. We might be mirrored, guys. I don't know. So, is there anything new and exciting that any of us should be looking forward to, or what's going on in your life now?
Right now I have sciatica and I'm trying to figure out how to stop this pain. You know what it is? And you know, that's an interesting point. Hopefully everybody gets older. But make younger friendships. If I can end this with the importance of younger and older friendships, because as you age, your friends die.
Mm.
The younger ones, the close ones are there. I am so blessed to have younger friendships. I have a young woman who came during COVID. You're not going out, you're not shopping, I'm doing the shopping for you. I have another one who has the key to my house in case I can't take care of this little dog that I'm taking care of. Younger people keep you alive. Younger people keep you updated on things. They help you with computers, phones, and they're delicious. It keeps you alive. And then I just lost a friend who died from melanoma. Who was it who was there? Her friends holding her, touching her, putting beautiful lotion on her, feeding her food. It wasn't her two kids. It was her friends.
Her friends.
Be the friend you want. Remember them on their birthday. Call them. Send them birthday cards. I know it sounds old, but do that. Do things that make you love who you are and they love you. Because as you age, those friendships are golden. Golden.
I love it. Marcia, thank you so, so much. I appreciate you. I hope we can do this again.
We can
And
be, my God, we're not far from each other.
yeah, we're really not. We're really not.
Similar to each other.
And for those of you watching, if you prefer Facebook over Instagram, she also has a Facebook group. I'm actually in that Facebook group. I actually shared about my tubal in there, Confessions of Child-Free People. And of course, per usual, I'm going to close with this line. Stay curious, everyone. Stay safe. And happy birthday, Sexpertease. Yay! We will see you next week.